this. But then also just if they wear light colored clothing, it would make things so much easier. I'm not sure who would agree, but I mean, that's how I feel at the end of the day. If they could just wear light colored clothing or some sort of reflector on their clothing or their bag or anywhere so that it's just so much more visible to any motorist
Yeah.
for
No, I
them,
agree with you,
especially in the
Kim.
morning when it's so dark.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Yesterday morning, when I was driving on the highway, all of a sudden I became aware of the vehicle about 50 meters in front of me, braking and swerving, and I saw this dark kind of something on the highway, and it just kind of made my heart stop for a second, and I also slammed on brakes, obviously making sure there wasn't somebody going to ram me from behind. But that's the problem. Yeah. So yeah, we need to, please, pedestrians, stay off the highways and be safe out there. In just a moment, we're chatting to Nico Kleynhans about the value of advice.
Burdens exchanged. Life reframed. CCFM 107.5, changing lives for good.
We say very good morning to Nico Kleynhans. Good morning, sir, and thank you for your time this Thursday morning.
Good morning, Jonathan, to Rachel, and also to the listeners. I've been wondering about the value of advice, and particularly financial advice. Because the problem that many of us face is that we don't know what we don't know. And so often we have to learn by making mistakes. And those mistakes can become very expensive. For instance, my father, his whole life, his motto, the thing he taught us is never have debt. And except for his home loan, he had no debt. He never had an overdraft. He never used a check account. His first credit card was given to him by the bank manager. He never applied for it. And when he got this credit card, he looked at it as if it was a gift from Beelzebub. He didn't want to touch it. And eventually, the bank manager put money in the credit card and said, go and spend it. So every time my father would buy something, whether it was for 20 rand or 30 rand or 50 rand, he would immediately go to the bank afterwards and put the 50 rand back into the credit card. Now, that's how he operated his life. And sometimes when people come to me for advice, I see some of the mistakes that they make. Recently, a particular person contacted me, and she's been working as the sole proprietor in her company for many, many years. And the workload is getting a bit too much right now. And so she was looking for somebody to take part ownership of her company. And in their discussions, the potential joint owner decided that he would use the value of the company's assets as a measure of the value of the company. Now, that's fine if you're dealing with a company that manufactures goods, but not if it's a company where the intellectual property is service-based. And because of the method he used to evaluate, give the value to the company, his valuation was only 10% of the true worth of the company. And fortunately, at that point, she was uneasy, came to get advice, and in fact, we were able to point out that the company was worth several million more than he had come. It would have cost her a fortune. Another client has been cohabiting with her partner for nearly 20 years. He absolutely refuses to marry her. They live together, they conduct everything together, no problems. He's just got a bug about getting married. And I pointed out that should she pass away, SARS will come to the funeral to give thanks, because her estate is worth in excess of 12 million rand. And in South Africa, you can only give away 3.5 million without duties and taxes if you are unmarried. And therefore, since she wants him to inherit the full 12 million, they're going to hit a few, fairly close to 4 million unnecessary duties. And for that, they are going to give thanks. And so she has to recognize that tax laws permit donations only between people who have formalized their relationship, either by getting married or using the Civil Union Act. Another couple who came to me do what a lot of people do. There were 3 couples. They decided they wanted to buy a holiday home together. Initially, it cost 2 million, and they put their holiday home in a closed corporation. Many years have passed, and now one couple is going through a divorce. And the soon-to-be ex wants to keep her share of the holiday home, and she wants to marry her new boyfriend, and she wants to keep using the holiday period for herself. But her ex-husband doesn't want to sell either. And because they had no buy-sell agreement, they're now going to sit with the uncomfortable situation where instead of 3 couples owning, 4 couples are now going to own part of that property. So it is important that if you're considering any kind of financial adventure, get advice. Find a qualified person, not your hairdresser, not your gardener's girlfriend or boyfriend, but find somebody who is qualified. Get the advice and move ahead. And if you don't trust your financial advisor, change them. Because Mrs. X discovered the other day that because she didn't trust her financial advisor, she failed to tell him that she had R1 million lying in the United Kingdom. SARS has now discovered this million. Now they're asking all kinds of questions. And because she didn't tell a tax planner or her financial advisor about this, she's in trouble. So folks, advice is important. And because you don't know what you don't know, seek advice from a professional. It may make a difference to the kind of mistakes, or at least reduce the value of the mistakes you could be making.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nico. Really, really appreciate that. And so important. Like you said a couple of times, you don't know what you don't know. That's why you need a professional, somebody who is an expert in that field to give you financial advice. So thank you so much for chatting to us this morning. We wish you all the best and look forward to chatting to you again.
Thank you.